So we will be having a panel discussion on multidisciplinary approach and employment opportunities, which will be throwing on some light on a few topics, which would be future career prospects of core branches, mechanical, civil, electrical versus computer science courses, multidisciplinary approach as envisaged in NEP, changing job roles in New World Order, bridge between past and future, the crucial role of conventional and future-based programs. Opportunities for higher studies in multidisciplinary programs for students after class 12th. So to discuss on these topics, I would like to call upon our moderator for this panel discussion, Dr. Ram Deshmukh, Director Placements and Training, SR University. A huge round of applause for our panelists and moderator, please. Further, I would like to call upon Professor V. Uma Maheshwar, Director Research Development and Consultancy Center, RDCC, Osmania University. Please help me call upon Dr. A. Raja Reddy, Dean of Agriculture, School of Agricultural Sciences, Mallareddy University. Would further like to call upon Dr. P. Ananda Raman, Mentor and Director, FIIT GEE, Hyderabad. And along with all of these, the final one joining us would be Dr. Daya Shankar, Dean School of Sciences, Woxon University. Over to you, Dr. Ram Deshmukh. Thank you.
Good afternoon, all. However, IndiGlobal had very interesting topic after lunch, which is multidisciplinary approach and employment opportunities. Because most of you who are students over here, they have heard about a lot of multidisciplinary course coming into market. And then what about if you take this course and what is the employmentability of this kind of courses? It's very vague. So it's very difficult to select these multidisciplinary courses. Of course, they sound very artistic, beautiful. But how can we go ahead with that? So this session hopefully will give you some idea where we are heading to with this multidisciplinary approach. And to start with, when you select the course nowadays from a post-pandemic, I am seeing as in placements as well, in my university especially, if not all, most of the students select computer science engineering. Correct me if I'm saying very objectable, but yes, this is like 60%, 70% students are taking computer science. Now comes the question, what is the future career prospects for other core departments? We have electrical, we have civil, we have mechanical. So on this, I would like to ask Professor Uma Maheshwar, how can we do with this? What is the problem and how we can solve this, or what is the approach we should take to uplift this kind of courses?
All of us know that whenever engineering admission starts, whether in IITs, NITs or engineering colleges in states, students opt for CSE course as a first priority. We have seen for the past decade and so, people are always marking towards CSE courses. No doubt, CSE will give a skill set to the student who is doing engineering in CSE. Once he graduates from the college, he is in a position to get into top-notch software companies, getting into developer roles. But if you look at the percentage of students getting the lucrative job offers, it's not even 3%. And the media, the colleges, in their websites, they always talk about only those top 3% who are going to big jobs. They never talk about the average pay package or the lowest pay package that the students have got. Computer science engineering has come into existence from 1990s, to be precise, and the Y2K problem has enhanced requirements in the area of computer science, and now with the exponential growth in the technologies, we need people who can use the programming to make the life of everyone on the earth happy. And the main reason for us to move forward in developments is not because of CSE, it's because of the core branches like mechanical, electrical, civil, electronics, chemical, and so on. They're all called as evergreen subjects. If you look at how we have gathered today here, you all travel in a car or in a bus or in a train, you come here. So all those vehicles which move on the road, on the rail, in the air or in the water or on the water, they are all made by mechanical engineers, designed and developed. If you look at this ambience of this hall, even though this is peak summer, we are all comfortable because air conditioning is there, air conditioning, human comfort air conditioning, that is designed and developed by mechanical engineers. And you look at the lighting, okay? The ambience that is created is actually, we need a lot of power. These hotels, resorts, or if you look at malls, they all need a lot of huge power intensive entities. Where is the power generated? In the power plants. How is it distributed? Electrical engineers. And the electronic appliances that we use, electronic engineers. Mobile phones that we use, electronics and communication engineers. And to all these engineers, the supporting roles are played by the CSE. So computer science engineers are required everywhere. And it's not that only CSE students will go into software industry. Now, if you look at the statistics, companies are looking for taking graduates from BSc, BCom course also, who have some knowledge in the programming, and they are actually competing with the computer science engineers. We also see that if the student is not above average, if he gets graduated through a BE computer science degree, it's like a normal degree. He will not end up in a big job. He'll be just struggling to get his career on. But if you look at the mechanical, electrical, civil students, they have the double edge. The first thing is they have a core knowledge on their hand. They can get into core company. And at the same time, if he wants or she wants to get into software, they are all welcome by software industry. Provided they add on some skill sets, what they look at. Like if they are good in C++, Java or Python, and if they are good in some communication skills, if they can talk good English, if they are good in team skills and leadership skills, they are welcome by the software industries. And within 1 or 2 years of joining the company, they compete with CSE engineers. In fact, I'll tell you, I was a placement for Engineering College, Usman University for almost 14 years. Presently coordinator for corporate relations for Usman University, apart from being R&D director. I have a lot of interaction with the HR managers. They always used to, TCS specifically used to tell whenever we have meets, they have presented a report on the analysis of performance of the students who are joined after 1 or 2 years. They have seen the students from mechanical are progressing very far ahead compared to CSE engineers. The reason is probably psychological. CSE engineers, they come with a lot of confidence that I am the king in the software area, I can do well. But mechanical engineers, they come with a lack of confidence saying that I am into a TCS, but I don't know this. So they'll have a lot of thirst to learn more and more. And in the process, they get far ahead. So the current scenario, the parents, students mocking towards CSE courses is understandable. But only thing is, the media hype, the hype created by the colleges, they wanted to have low investment on the branches. So if you look at the branches like mechanical, civil, you need to make a lot of huge investment if you want to set up laboratories. But CSE, buy some computers, that's sufficient for you. You can run a branch of engineering. So over the years, over the last decade, what we have seen is, since ASCD is not sanctioning extra batches or sections, they have started new buzzwords like AI and ML, data science, cyber security, Internet of Things, and so on. To just add on to the branches in the college so that they get more revenue, they get more students to take the advantage of this mob mania what the students and parents have. So if you look at the salary pay packages, if you forget about those top 3% students who are going to top developer roles, other students will end up with average salaries, maybe around, starting pay would be around 4 lakhs for CSC, above average. Whereas if you look at mechanical, electrical, civil students, they have the double edge of getting into government sector also. They can get into PSUs. PSUs, they offer an average pay package of 12 to 16 lakhs per annum, starting pay package. If they write a gate examination very well, they get good percentile, they directly be called for interviews, and they'll get the job right away. But if you look at CSC, they don't have that many jobs in PSUs, number one. And also government jobs, state government or central government, there are very few in place. Now, if you look at the working life after they join the companies, the CSC guys should definitely be always on the learning path, and they always are in the competition mode. If they stop learning at some point of time, they may get a pink card from the company. But look at mechanical, civil, electronics. They go with a lot of knowledge into the company, and if they get into one area of expertise and they gain experience, they become expert, they'll be demand in the industry. So without hesitation, if some students or parents have this idea of getting into core companies, without getting into core companies, there's a lot of bright future. If you look at future prospects of automobiles in India, aerospace industry coming up in India, if you look at 3D printing that's going to come up in very big way, you talk about machine learning, AI, all these things, you need core engineers getting into this. I'll add a point sometime later.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with you. You know, when somebody says I'm going to core and my jobs are less, because as a placement officer at SR University, parents come, sir, when my son will get core job? I said, what do you mean by core job? There's nothing called core job or software job. I mean, I just asked one question, like software industry, TCS services or Wipro, they say like they are hiring electrical, mechanical, civil. Have you heard why they are hiring? Do you think they don't get enough CSC? Because the logical skills which these people have is so strong, and of course, they will have electrical projects. If L&T is doing some project, it is given to TCS. Okay, so these projects, they need civil engineers to build the design or develop the algorithm for that. So only with plain CSA you cannot develop algorithm, because you need some logic of structures if you are doing civil. Yeah, some logic of flux if you are working with electrical. So that's why these companies hire these engineers. So I would never say that is a core jobs or software job. Jobs are jobs, equal for all. Thanks for throwing some light on that. Now coming to another multiple disciplinary approach. Now it is a buzzword and a lot of work is being done in this area. And these all come due to NEP. So I would like to ask Ananda Ramana, what NEP is envisaging on this multidisciplinary approach, if you can throw light in detail. So starting from what NEP is, because like quite a few people don't understand what NEP is, it will be helpful.
Good afternoon to all of you. I hope everybody had a good lunch, and I hope you all have listened to Dr. Umameshwar sir has said just now. I will be just continuing with one very important thing that's of concern and important to the entire nation now, the national education policy. You know, we all have passed through a system where we have taken exams after class 10th, after class 12th, then some of us did our BTech, some of us went for the graduation, post-graduation and so on. Now the government of India, you know, when we studied all these courses, if I ask any one of you who is sitting here or any one of the panelists here too, if I ask you what you studied in your 11th and 12th, the answer is either I have done maths, physics, chemistry, I have done biology, physics, chemistry. If somebody would have come from some CBSE school which offered both maths, bio, physics, chemistry, but you would never see anyone saying, I did maths, English literature, and chemistry. There is no option. You know, like for example, we often see this in our careers. When many of you who might have graduated with math, physics, chemistry, you might have gone into a BTech course, later on you went into a job, and then suddenly on one fine day, you are given a task to address 100 people. The question is, you may have enough knowledge to speak about, but you may not have the skills to speak at that particular moment of time. Where does this lacuna come from? Was it in our preparation? Was it the way how our education system progressed? So to fill these gaps, the government thought over a period of time. And to fill these gaps, they devised a new policy. And this new policy comes as a part of 4 stages. 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4. 5 is the number of years which is called the foundation course. Right? And then comes the preparatory for 3 more years. Then comes the middle course for 3 more years. Then comes the secondary course. Which means, now, earlier we used to have an exam every year. You know, you can imagine some of you who are parents, you can imagine the preparations that you have to prepare to ensure your child does well in first class exam or second class exam. Now the government has changed this policy. The new policy declares that exams would be conducted only after class 2nd, that is at the end of first 5 years of education. Then after class 5th, then after class 8th, then in class 12th. Now here, the core thing that is being trying to develop across the country is that once this kind of system develops across the country, the undergraduate courses also are going to be reformed. For example, earlier you used to think about a degree with 3 years, or B.Ed degree was for 1 year. Now, to become a teacher also, you need to have a 4 years training program. After your class 12, it's a 4 years training program, which includes part of your grad as well as the specialization in education. So unless until you are not qualified at this particular level, you will not have an opportunity to become a teacher. That means teachers, many of us have become teachers because we didn't have any other choice. But now the new system provides opportunities for people who have passion towards teaching to choose that at a very early stage. That means you are really able to focus on the ground level realities that students will face, the kids will face, understanding the psychology of the kids. And the second part of NEP, this was with respect to what is NEP. The second part of NEP is, I always, I myself am a doctorate in chemistry, so when I think about, I always used to ask students a question, many of you who are sitting here have passed your class 10, so you all know there is something called electron, proton, neutron. One question I always used to ask my students was, where is electron? Everybody knows the answer. They used to tell electron is outside the nucleus. Then the next question I used to ask was, what happens if it is present inside? People know that it is not inside, but they don't know what will happen if it is inside. Because we are we study the same concept in class 8th, 9th, 10th. But at the end of the day, we don't know why it cannot be inside. The NEP system will help the student to underwhelm this kind of research kind of thinking. The thinking perspective has to change. And obviously the thinking can change if it is a multidisciplinary aspect. Because why it is not inside, why electron is not inside, it cannot be answered only if you know chemistry. It cannot be answered only if you know physics. It cannot be answered only if you know math. It's something which is combination of all the subjects. And in the future, one more interesting thing is, there is a course called Biological Sciences Undergraduate Course, 4 years research course in ISC Bangalore. Biological Sciences. Does anyone know what is the minimum eligibility criteria? It says, you should have studied maths till class 12th. What does it mean? No subject is as such dependent on singly on that subject alone. You need a combinatory aspect of all the basic subjects which will enhance your thinking skills. Ultimately, at the end of the day, the thinking hat is the most important one. Unless and until you don't put the thinking hat on, it's impossible for you to crack and reach the zenith in any particular subject. It's literally impossible. We had certain examples of students who basically we used to feel that students appear for IIT-JEE entrance and they used to get very good ranks. I would just like to take this opportunity, sorry for deviating from the topic a bit, because it's very relevant. There was a student who got a rank, All India rank of 550 in IIT entrance. Ideally, the student would have chosen any engineering. But the student said, no, let me go for chemistry. The student took chemistry with 550 rank, not because they did not get any other branch, the choice. After pursuing from IIT Mumbai, the student went on to do research, and you can Google it, the name of the student. The student has detected a fluorescent paper which can detect explosives. That's the way how science will take you. That's the way how interest in your core subject can guide you. And mind you, this student studied in IIT. Normally we associate IIT with something like only engineering, crux of engineering and all. But there are many examples like this. People who have gone into IIT, they went on to choose what subject they wanted and they did very well. And NEP is giving one more feather, one more added thing here. It is not just allowing you only to choose math or science. It is allowing you to choose many other topics among your interested topics, which can correlate with math and science tomorrow. I would just basically tell you one more example of a computer science IIT graduate. A student passed out from IIT Madras in 2014. Okay, computer science engineering. He was hired by a US company. His salary was about 2 crore per annum. He worked for 2 years, he quit his job, and he went on to do research in biomedical engineering. I was just about mentioning to, what Sir said, wonderful point Sir has mentioned. It's not about which field you are in. In every field you need everybody, but you need to be at the top. It is not that branch which will define who you are. It is who you will define what is the branch, importance. Because importance of all these branches came because of individuals who excelled in that field. NEP is a wonderful platform because in our country, the education system till class 12th is as such that you have no options. Either you take math, physics, chemistry, or you take biophysics, chemistry, or you take civics, economics, commerce, you take maths, economics, commerce. No, not the case. After class 8th, you choose the subject. Which subject you want to do? There can be a system like minors and majors, which were earlier there in the various days when somebody was studying graduate courses. There used to be minor, there used to be major course. Most of the US universities have that. And it's very important. Why you suddenly see that, when you talk about somebody doing research, we often talk about people who studied in India, went abroad, excelled in research. The idea of NEP is to ensure that people who studied in India, stay back in India, excel in research temperament. Because why, if you go to any US university, you will see that there are multidisciplinary courses. You just don't study only one particular area. You are exposed to many things. Your horizon will improve. That's what the NEP is planning to bring in. And that's the greatest change that NEP is planning to bring in. I hope this will give a great opportunity to every student, not just who are situated in towns. One more important thing we should talk about India, NEP, is that we are a country where majority of our population is in a rural background. I would say semi-rural background, rural background, not in a towns. And education has to reach each and every child. Unless and until this kind of qualitative thinking doesn't reach a child at an early stage, it will be practically impossible. We will always be catering to a certain section of population only. And this is the reason why NEP was introduced, so that teachers are very well trained. These experts are posted across the country. Now you see, if anybody is given an option, where would you like to work? Somebody would say, I would like to stay in a city, close to everything. But now with this training, everybody will get training, everybody will get exposure. The entire nation's population will get a very good exposure. That's the broad spectrum of NEP. I would like to rest with these topics. If any further questions, I'll answer later. Thank you.
Thanks, Dr. Raman. It's quite an eye-opener for all, maybe, what NEP is. And I would like to add to that, for your story, I have one story as well, sorry. When I was doing my PhD in Cardiff University, I was in final year and a student joined from IIT Madras in electrical engineering. He was doing nanotechnology research. So he was doing research, I left, I went for a job. After 8 or 9 years, we again met. I said, you will be doing a lot of big stuff in nanotechnology. It's happening subject. So what are you doing now? He said, I'm working for JP Morgan Investment Banking. I was like, what the hell? I couldn't relate at that time what he's doing, and he's doing very well. He's a multimillionaire now. So then now it is falling in right places. All these buckets are mixing in a tub and saying we can be together. So this kind of multidisciplinary will be a huge success in future. Yeah. Taking this discussion forward, I would like to ask Dr. Dayashankar. There's a bridge between past and future, right? So what are these? What is the crucial role of this convention and future courses? How we can relate these two and how we can take this forward?
So good afternoon, everyone. And myself, Dayashankar, and I'm here to represent Watson University. And before beginning my entire things, let me give you one quote. Your future depends on what you are doing today. This quote is basically given by Mahatma Gandhi. And what Sir has asked, there is a direct relationship between. I'll add some few things more. But before going further, one fact I would like to mention here. In 1969, NASA has launched its Apollo 11 mission, through which they have deployed first human on the moon. At that time, they have used their emerging, or you can say that the modern technology, which is a rocket science, you can say that, or rocket technology, you can say that. That particular technology has been based on their previous research and everything. And on the basis of that, they have made the current one. Now, to this particular time, that particular technology is act as our past technology. And we can clearly see that whatever development we are doing in that particular field, apart from other all, they are directly related to that technologies. Or not a particular, there are so many technologies at that time that are basically related to that. Now, coming to our initiatives, what we are doing basically, let me go in the depth so that I'll elaborate these things, how the past is basically influencing our future based on certain courses, or you can say that the innovative courses. Nowadays, we are hearing lots of words: entrepreneurship, innovation, skill. There are lots of words. In the technology domain, you can hear some AI, ML. These types of what we are hearing, but we have to keep in mind, these are not basically a technology. These are the tools. Technology which we have, as sir correctly mentioned, that we have so many conventional things, mechanical, civil, these are the core things. And the entire system of this outcoming or futuristic technology are basically made on this. In our university, how we have designed our course, let me give you an example. We have tried to put these 4 components in a course, or you can say that a program. First is conventional, another industrial oriented, then interdisciplinary, and 4th is futuristic courses. If these 4 are present in a single program, then we are saying that, okay, now we are going to deploy these things. Now let me give you an example. BSc, if we say that BSc, people are saying that, okay, now the conventional things comes into the picture. BSc in physics, BSc in chemistry, BSc in mathematics, computer science, and lot more things. How we have experimented, let me give you an example. Suppose we have launched a course which is a BSc in computer science. So the name of that course is basically BSc Honors in Computer Science with Neurocomputing and Brain-Machine Interface. This is the name of entire program. Now you can imagine what I said earlier, the 4 things: conventional, interdisciplinary, industrial oriented, and futuristic course. All the 4 components we have mixed inside it. Now let me give you one more example. We are talking about conventional thing. Definitely conventional will be required whatever things you are making. And these skills, we are every time we are hearing that, okay, learn this skill, learn this skill, learn this skill. We once learn this skill, with the times we can modify this, but we cannot unlearn that skill. That is the basically you can understand. So lots of words nowadays we are hearing. Now let us take an example of this AI one. If you go in AI, there are lots of dimensions open. But again, we have to remember at the same time that this is not technology. These are the skills. Even suppose a student can completed his BTech in mechanical engineering, he or she completely understand the entire terminology or what are the goings on inside these things. But a student, suppose which we are floating at BTech in artificial intelligence, suppose this is the course, what the students are learning, basically they are learning all the tools and techniques which they can able to utilize it. That student cannot take or work whatever work are basically done by this mechanical engineer. But this BTech mechanical engineering student can definitely do that particular work. So that here we can able to understand what is the exact segregation of this conventional, what is the importance of these things. So we have tried in that way. So lots of courses are there. Let me give you one more example. We have tried with a biotechnology. And now we are hearing that a lot of the students who has a biology background, they are trying to enroll in the biotechnology. But as sir has mentioned, the mathematics is equally important in almost all the branches of science. In fact, we can say that this is the mandate one. Without mathematics, you cannot do anything. This I am telling, as my background is purely from IIT, I did my engineering and everything from IIT. I can say that despite of being an engineering background, I am in the favor of this science, because science, and that is the applied science. Everything comes from that particular thing. So in a biotechnology, we have reinitiated, you can say that they innovated, that we have launched a BSc biotechnology with clinical biotechnology. This is another different prospect. What we are trying to do, we are trying to initiate that type of courses which is future-proof or futuristic course. Suppose a student can, or he or she can complete this particular course and they wants to do their master's or PhD, they can do that particular master's and PhD in their core field. Core field, that means the conventional one. That is the biotechnology. We have not touched entire thing. that are untouched. But along with that, we have added width. And that is basically, you can say that the skill-based or futuristic course. So like that, we have initiated, we have done lots of things. Now let me tell one more thing. Now, I'm entering inside one particular course and give you an example how we have basically created as a future-proof courses. We have two aspects. One is, or the segregation of group. One is job seeker and another is job provider. We have given these things or created this entire cohort, semester-wise you can say that, in such a way that based on the individual choice, whether he wants to become a job creator, he can make it. That means entrepreneurs. And if he or she wants to go inside a research type of things, higher a study, or some employability part, he or she can also go inside that. So we have designed this course in that way. How? So we have entire courses, we have divided into two parts. Either of that courses, because these are the very extremely advanced courses, which I am mentioning here. Some of the courses, there are a lot many courses, 25 courses we have launched, and these are extremely advanced courses. So the pattern is like that. The half of the things, as I was hearing the first panel discussion that was going on, there is an industrial and academia interface or interactions they were mentioning earlier. So we have initiated these things from the first semester onward. We have, as per the UGC, there is a provision that we have to keep some industrial expert. They will come and they will teach the entire thing. That is the practicality part of this entire thing. And the name is, we are coining that name as a professor of practice. So we have kept some of the advanced courses, like neurosciences or computational neurosciences. These type of subject is basically taught by the experts. Academician, as academician, we know theoretical background or somewhat. To be very frank, there is an extent of knowing of the academicians. But apart from that, industry definitely plays a major role inside it. So we have kept as a professor of practice. Now from the academic background, that is also required. We have kept as a distinguished professor. So we have created a pool of these two so that in a future, suppose a student wants to do a research or higher educations, they can fulfill or they can join with this distinguished professor's part, and along with that, if they want to launch a business or they want to do a further research in particular area, with the help of this professor of practice, they can able to do it. So these are the way through which we can able to create it. Now I can say that this is not this particular, but we have to choose our entirely future prospects based on the present one, and we have to decide what type of things we are going to do in the future. Thank you.
It's quite an interesting thing. Actually, if I can correlate and make it in a simple words, if you don't know ABCD, you can't write words. Am I right? And now you can write no words, then you can write sentence. But now futuristic is like, at that time was ChatGPT. Now you don't have to write anything, just ask question. So yeah, I mean, quite an interesting thing you have done. I want to ask Mr. Raju Reddy, what are the opportunities for higher education in multidisciplinary for 10+2, like intermediate students? Because there are quite a few here, they want to understand this. So can you please throw light on that?
Basically, 10+2, after their SSC education, most of the students, either they'll go for MPC, BPC, or MEC, CEC. These are the 4 streams they opt after SSC. See, our education system is something difficult to understand. See, up to 10th, all the students are studying common courses. They don't know in which field they have to go after SSC. Most of the parents are in dilemma, students are in dilemma, whether they have to choose MPC, BPC, and then they say, mostly they will be influenced by the parents or their relatives, because their success will show them in which area, which direction they have to go, either BPC or MPC. Only BPC they seek those who aim at medicine. All MPC students, they'll select MPC stream to become an engineer. All the BCom or MEC students, they'll just go for chartered account, CA or BCom afterwards, like MCom courses. So these are the 4 streams they choose. But now, thanks to the NEP, because most of us, we didn't have that choice. Now, the choice has been created, NEP, National Education Policy 2020. Maybe not this particular passed out students of 23, 24 or 25, but 25, 26, definitely there is going to be a seesaw change in the choosing their subjects. Because they can choose, Professor was mentioning, they can choose literature, they can choose even medicine also. That provision has been created, and now they are working on this model to implement this NEP throughout country. For that, some more preparations are needed, like common course and credit bank depositing in the universities, because universities has to gear up for the credit bank. So what courses you are offering, it should be visible to the other students across the country. From northeast state, they can come and join in Hyderabad also, any university. The university which I represent is Mallareddy University. We are offering a quite new subjects like what other professors mentioned. We are offering School of Engineering, in which almost all 7 emerging technologies we are offering. IoT, cyber security, and AI, ML, data science, computer science, data analytics. So these are the engineering stream. And coming to the agriculture, after BPC, you can choose agriculture. Agriculture is a course where all multidisciplinary courses will be there. An agriculture graduate will study economics, maths, statistics, biochemistry, microbiology, biotechnology, and economics and agribusiness management, supply chain and all these things. So what are all other students doesn't study, agriculture stream students will study these many courses. That multidisciplinary or interdisciplinary courses very well fit in the agriculture course. At UG level, there is 4 years of agriculture. We are preparing or prepared a course curriculum where we are keeping the student-ready programs. 3 years they study complete core courses like entomology, pathology, microbiology, economics, extension, and all the agronomy, plant breeding and genetics. In the final year, they do 3 modules, rural agricultural work experience program. That means they'll be staying with the farmers in the village for 3 months. They will study all the farm activities from seed to seed. That means seed sowing to seed harvesting till it reaches the consumer. That is the marketing channels. So that is the economics part, marketing part. They completely study while staying in the village for 3 months. Afterwards, they study agricultural experiential learning program, that is known as AELP. So wherein they study a technology like how vermicomposting is made, how a silkworm, a red and mulberry cultivation is there, how honey is collected, how mushrooms are grown, how organic farming is being done. So this is how we have another module, and industry internship. Because we know we have the input industries like fertilizers, pesticides and seed industry. So these are the main inputs farmers require at every stage. So students will be experiencing these 3 modules. There's pesticide industry, seed industry and fertilizer industry. How the fertilizer manufacturing is there, how they'll be marketing and what are the things, how they are working in the field. So they'll be studying this industry internship program. These 3 modules they'll do. Entire final year they undergo these things. So with that they'll complete the 4-year degree course. So that is a very, very fit, multidisciplinary subjects will fit in this particular agriculture course. And we have another course, Allied Health Sciences. So that is another, that is what most of speakers in the morning, before lunch also they are speaking. They should be job providers, not job seekers. So what are all courses we are offering, especially in Malareddy, they're all, both they can become job seekers and job providers. So these are the important things after intermediate. Students has in the intermediate or after intermediate also you can choose these subjects. And first question will come, what subject is? You have to think, how can I choose the best course after 2+? It lies with you. In which area, which I mentioned or others mentioned, in which area you fit, first you have to decide. Don't be influenced by your parents or your friends or your seniors. Of course, they will follow their seniors and other things, how they are successful in their things. But everybody will not become a successful person like your seniors. It depends on totally on you. And then find out where your interest lies. That's what, in which area you are interested. Whether you want to become an engineer or you want to become a medico, or you can become an agripreneur or agriculture graduate or a chartered accountant or BBA, MBA or anything. So that's how we have to. And finally, select the right course. After analyzing this, select a right course, and selection of the institute is very, very important. Who are the promoters, what infrastructure they have, what course curriculum they are following, and what is their faculty. So, sir was mentioning the professor of practice. We have the professor of practices, nearly 5 faculty. They are from industry and adjunct faculties working somewhere in abroad. They will be taking online classes in their specialization. So we have adjunct faculties, we have professor of practice, and we have visiting faculties. So these are the different types of faculty we have to strengthen our course curriculum academia. And we are going to have MOU, we had already MOUs, academia, industry and government, public-private partnership. Like we have MOU with ICRISAT and other ICR institutes, research institutes, where our PG students and PhD students can pursue their research work in those research stations. International reputed and national reputed ICR institutes are here in Hyderabad. So you have to look for these things before taking admission in any institute. So these are the various avenues are waiting for you. You select a right course and right institute where you can pursue your career and become a good postgraduate or graduate. And lot of vertical sectors also you can move. PG and PhDs, and you can become a faculty member, you can become a researcher. Of course, that is there in all the streams, engineering and agriculture and matter, all these allied health sciences also there. So that is why you have to choose, first decide, analyze, and then choose which course you will be interested in taking. So thank you for giving this opportunity.
Thank you very much, sir. I would like a quick question for you, sir, Maheshwar sir. What are the skill sets required? Because they are, even today I can feel that students who have come here, they're all asking about how can I do engineering, how can I do computer science. Okay, if you don't do computer science, okay, you are doing electrical. What skill set do they need to be successful and getting higher salary packages as well?
That's a very relevant question to the current generation students. So what will be the branch that you join? CSC or mechanical, civil, chemical, electrical? Till 10+2, you are all getting into spoon feeding from the corporate teachers, okay? And you are not allowed to look outside the curriculum and go out of the box. These 4 years of engineering, what you spend in the engineering colleges, are very, very precious to mold your life and career. Please focus on academics, number one. At the same time, there is no need for you to get a first rank. No need. Be in the top 20%, that's enough. But focus on extracurricular activities and co-curricular activities. If you have a passion for music or for other sports or anything, please go ahead, explore. Try to engage in some NGO activities in the college. Try to learn some new skill. And when you go for the placements at the end of the third year and starting of fourth year, one interesting question that the HR manager will ask you if you are going through the test process, technical interview you are cleared. When you go to HR interview, they'll ask you the first question. Tell me, what else you have done other than academics in these 4 years? Okay, it's good that you have got 90 percentile, 95 percentile or 80 percentile. You're good in academics. You've gone through technical interviews very thoroughly. Now that you're at our HR table, I would like to know from you, what does your resume talk about you? What else you have done? What other things that you have done other than academics? That's very, very important. In these 4 years, please focus on acquiring the personal development skills, like you should be a good leader, acquire leadership skills. You should be a good speaker, go on to the public forums, engage in clubs, go in debates, talk, work with the teams. There are several clubs in the college. You can join them. For example, technical clubs like Society of Automotive Engineers. You can fabricate vehicles right from the first year onwards. Think about creativity. Okay, you need to be really out of the box thinking person if you want to get into a very niche area, into a good company. Question the norms. Okay. So in the class, till intermediate, you are not allowed to ask questions to teachers. But in the engineering, it's very difficult for us, like a teacher, like a professor like me in mechanical engineering, when I see the students coming in from the corporate schools, they don't open their mouths. They don't ask questions when you interact. It really takes a few weeks for us to make them open their mouths and ask questions. So first thing is, please question, understand the concepts. Wherever you have doubts, immediately shoot questions to the teachers, interact with the seniors, with your classmates. Go deeper into the application part. Whatever fundamentals that you learn in the class and whatever application part that you learn in laboratories, please look at what impact that will have on the society and what are the products that can roll out into the society which can be really deployable, which will make new companies to come up in the market. That's what we call as a T-Hub in Telangana. They are giving a lot of encouragement to the students if they come with ideas. You need to be very well versed with the fundas plus application part. As an engineer, when you go out, you should not be a bookworm, but you should be a person who can roll out a product as per the requirements of the customer. And be an entrepreneur. You must have good understanding of the money management, man management, and material management. And these three aspects are taught in engineering. So you need to be all-rounder. Once you go out of the college, the company should want to take you into their company. So that's what I would like to say on this part.
Great. To you, sir, I know we are talking about many multiple disciplinary courses, but it is really not taking off. I mean, it's not visible outside. So what is stopping that? I know it's quite early stage, but what is stopping that? If it is too early to talk about it, how many years will it take to see these kind of courses in the market, like students taking these courses willingly?
Actually, to roll out NAP, the entire India is a very diverse country. Like, for example, you have children studying in villages, towns, different states, different parts of the country. And first of all, the entire sequencing in the entire country has to take place. And first, training of people has to take place. The idea of central government, when they launched this NAP, was to make it effective by around 2029. That was the date they set for themselves. Although they started in 2020, the plan was rolled out. By 2029, they want to segregate all these things at one place, and wherein it can go as one particular program. I just tell you one very simple example. There was a Tamil saint. His name was Thirumangai Alvar. He mentioned one word. There's a Tamil word. I'll just explain that meaning in English also. The word says, Erar muyal vittu kakkai pin povade. My teacher used to tell me this. There is a hunter in a forest. He is very hungry and he has to survive by eating something. He can't eat grass. So he has to hunt down an animal. He has one bow and only one arrow with him. On a tree, there was a crow. And on the ground, there was a rabbit. The question is, what will the hunter do? He has only one arrow. That arrow, will he use to shoot the crow on the tree? Or will he use the arrow to shoot the rabbit on the ground? Which is more probable? All of us know the answer is the rabbit on the ground. See, this saint, he envisaged our problems that we are going to face today about thousands of years ago. He said, why are you running behind that crow when you have the rabbit on the ground? The same thing here is, when programs like NEP and these things are being launched, I'll just relate to you how it is related. The point is here is that the direction is already there, the clarity is already there, but definitely it takes effect from each and every one of the participants to enroll in it. Like for example, it is the responsibility of each and every state government, each and every educationist, each and every person to link towards it and then combine it to make it a successful one. That was my point, right? So I think definitely by 2029, you'll see a lot of changes. Already there are many institutes which are gearing up for this NEP, and I think IITs have already done that. Like IITs have already introduced courses like economics and other subjects in their graduate disciplines. So somebody who is studying, like for example, computer science can now opt for a minor course in economics. So that's being offered in IITs already. At that level it has begun. The ground level, it's going to take about, I think, at least 3 to 4 years of time. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Not only IITs, I would like to talk about the changes that are happening in several engineering colleges. For example, in my own university, Usman University College of Engineering, the students from CSE can take up some course in mechanical, electrical students can take up some course in CSE. So there is a lot of interdisciplinary courses that are being offered from third year onwards. Apart from this, they can also go on for some online courses where they can get certificates from the MHRD, MOOCs courses are there. So therefore, the lot of revolution is happening in the education sector, going in lines of NEP, and definitely going forward, I would like to see after 10 years, you will not see these partitions, CSE, ECE, EEE mechanical. Probably will be rolling out one single course for all the engineers, where in these 4 years of time, they'll pick up the course of their choice and they become all-rounder by the time they pass out from the engineering college.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, right, like a word, Vasudeka Kutumam, there should be Vasudeka education or Vasudeka Vidya. So there is no boundaries for anything in educating. So students and parents, whoever are here, if you are into this multidisciplinary course now itself, your kids or aspirants, you'll be at added advantage levels, because you will have 2 to 3 courses mastered during bachelor's itself. Because nobody is there having this kind of multidisciplinary approach, and your problem solving skill will definitely improve taking this multidisciplinary course. And again, those who are computer aspirants, think about it. Other core courses are also giving double edge of the sword, and there are a lot of universities, like private universities in Telangana, government universities in Telangana, who have opened up. They don't have any boundaries. Even if you come and say that you don't have this course, can I have this course? So more definitely we'll start thinking about it. So it's a two-way kind of contribution, not one way. We will just put up the course, maybe seat will get vacant, but until and unless you come up with the ideas as well to us, we will never think about it. So it's a partnership between you and universities. So with these words, I would like to conclude this panel discussion. But however, this panel is open for questions, because as Sir said, students should open their mouth, and we expect so here.
Thank you, all the panelists. Thank you, Mr. Ram, for moderating the session so well.
I think meanwhile you can take some questions from the students
if
or
we
parents.
have any questions in the audience.
Initial weeks, we will find difficult to make students ask questions. Yeah. Please pass the mic to sir.
Actually, dear students, this entire program is for you, for your career, which course you have to see, where you have to join and all these things. And none of the students are asking questions.
Yeah, they will ask. I am taking the lead, so they will follow. Okay, don't worry. Now, coming to this panel, after entire panel discussion, I have got a doubt. Like we have in the US and other countries, why can't India, something more particularly in Hyderabad, as a pioneering effort, to introduce something called aptitude test? What is the kind of aptitude a child has to pursue, let us say CSE, EE, whatever branch it is, whatever we are, CA, CPA, what kind of analytical abilities he has got, what kind of taste he has got, whether he is a go-getter, whether he's got the orientation to talk to people. That kind of, I think, a scientific approach can we have at 10+2 level. Because most of the parents, they are finding it very difficult. And as you rightly mentioned, they are only following seniors, juniors, peers, and relatives, and those who are successful, they think everybody can be a Bill Gates. Of course, they are not failing in 10+2 like Bill Gates, but definitely they are all following these successful people. So I am asking whether this is possible, and why not it be introduced like 5B. We have psychology test 5B. Like that, can we have an aptitude test to enable the students to select their career? Thank you.
Very relevant question, sir. In fact, if you recall the Three Idiots movie, wherein Madhavan wanted to become a photographer, he was pushed into engineering. So, very apt question what sir has put, and this is very, very relevant to the current generation. I'll take an example of Germany. There, the students right from nursery to the 10th class, 10th standard, they'll be gauged, analyzed, and given scores for different skill sets that they have, aptitudes. And they'll guide them by the time they come to 7th standard, where all they can shine if they go into a career. That kind of thing should come into India also, wherein, not for 10+2, sir, let's start it from high school. High school, because now the current generation is very fast. They are fast learners compared to our generation. So probably from 7th, 8th class onwards, this aptitude testing has to be done. And we need to guide them properly to take up a career in which they can shine, rather than the parents or the uncles or the friends deciding or the society deciding what they want to do.
Yeah, I mean, quite a relevant question actually, very important one. And then I would like to chip in, like, I know it's kind of weird idea. So once we have entrances like EAMCET, if you have this test as well, then at least we can tell them what their aptitude score is and what areas cognitively they are good or wrong, and then they can select the course accordingly. So that can also, but it's not in our hands. It's a government institution who can promote that.
Thank you. I would like to call Dr. Ram Deshmukh to please move forward so that you can give away the mementos to all our panelists. I would like to call Professor V. Uma Maheshwar, Director, Research Development and Consultancy Center, RDCC, Osmania University. Can I hear some applauses, please? Dr. A. Raja Reddy, Dean of Agriculture, School of Agriculture Sciences, Mallareddy University. Can I call upon Dr. P. Ananda Raman, Mentor and Director, FIIT, GEE, Hyderabad. Can I call upon Dr. Dayashankar, Dean, School of Sciences, Watson University. I would like to call upon Shri Shrikant Sinha, CEO, Telangana Academy for Skill and Knowledge, to please come on to the dais to give away the memento to our moderator, Dr. Ram Deshmukh, Director, Placements and Training, SR University. Request all the speakers to please come ahead for a group picture. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thanks to all the speakers and the panelists for the lovely session we had.